yardam, and it helps you get into the groove of singing swarams to that yardam. I did this for every single thing that I sang swarams for when I was learning. When I started, every time there was a new yardam or new ragam that I had to sing swarams for, I would just do this exercise over and over again. And this only works if you sit in your room for 30, 40 minutes and do this over and over again. You really get into that intense kind of, grind of practicing. Then it really works and it really helps. And as a beginner, this is a great way to start singing Kalpana swarams. So and these guys, they're all beginners at Kalpana swarams. If you ask them to sing Kalpana swarams or something random, they probably can't do it, unless I'm wrong. Okay, all right. And I basically told them about the exercise on Sunday, and they did it now. So with practice, it's really easy to get up and started.
So now I'm going to talk about some things that are slightly more advanced that you can incorporate when you've got the flow and the yardam of Kalpana Swaram singing down. So a lot of things that beginners do when they're doing Kalpana Swarams is that they kind of keep the talam very rigid and it doesn't flow as well. So I'll give an example. So just for Bata. Oh yeah. Patapi dapani bagari sade patapi sani papagari sade patapi. So you can see, like, if you start on the half of the Avardhanam every time, it gets kind of boring and repetitive. So one thing you do as you get more advanced to spice it up a little bit is you kind of offset it by one or two beats. So that becomes like this. Vatapi pagari sa pani sa de vatapi nikari ni pagari sa de vatapi. So that's like the first kind of step you do to get your swarams to sound more like actual swarams and not kind of like if you do it from the beat every time, it sounds like you've memorized it, which you might have, but you have to make it look like you haven't. So as long as people don't realize it, it's okay. So another
I second that, actually.
So another thing is that, especially in Adi Talam, there's like notion of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously that's gonna come into your swarams, but if you incorporate odd numbers like 3 and 5, it'll sound like more. It'll sound like it flows better. So, for one of them, I sing Sani pa pa ga ri sa ri. So that's a 3 and then a 5, and that sounds better than Sani pa ga ni pa ga ri va, because it just the odd numbers and being offbeat kind of improves it. And this especially comes into play when you do second speed swarams. And if you end on a 5, it'll kind of keep the flow and the pace of the song going. So I'll give an example of that. Vatapi Pagari sari vatapi Gabani pagani pagani pagari sari vatapi Pagani pasani gari sari pagari sari vatapi Piga gabagari sani pani sabani sari vatapi. So that 5 makes it better than if you say Gaba gaba ni pani sa sa ni paga ni ri va ta pi. That's not Hamsatwani or anything. It's just that people will get very bored very fast. So yeah, that's just a small little tidbit to make your swarams just a little bit like this. It's very little effort on your part, but it makes your swarams a lot better.
Another important key piece is to keep raga bhavam in mind when singing Kalpana swarams. So a lot of times we tend to get in the rut of just kind of hammering through the swarams part of it, and that's great. But it's really important to keep, that aesthetic kind of framework of the ragam in place. So if you're singing something like, Begada or something, a Rakti ragam, ga 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 mari ga ma ta mari sa Sat sagari sani ni ni sa ma ma ga ga ri ri ga ga ri sani ni sa ga ri ni ni. So that type of swaram singing is very based on the phrase of the ragam. Na 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 is a phrase in Begada. Sagari ni ni da ba sa ga ga ma re ta da na 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 pa ga ma ba da ni da ba ma ga ma da ma ga ri sa ni da sa ga ri ga ma ba da ri ni da ba da wa sa sa ni da ga ri ga ma ga ri sa. So it's all gonna be following the contours of Begada as opposed to singing anything, because Begada is one of the sagari gama pada pa sa sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa. The Arohanam has sagari gama pada pa sa. You can't just sing pada ni sa or pada sa or something random, because it's gonna sound like other ragams. So you're gonna make it sound like Shankaravarnam Kavali or something random. That's not good. So that comes with practice and experience. But singing Rakti ragams, singing swarams for Rakti ragams, you have to make sure to incorporate Raga Baba. Okay. Shall we move on to another?
Yeah. Does anyone have questions before? Okay, what?
So you said Raga Bhavam, right? And you sang the Arohanam, Avrohanam. So when you learn the Arohanam, Avrohanam for every ragam, how much of it do you realize is incorporated in the Arohanam, Avrohanam? So when you practice, and you said it's important to learn it, and you sang it a certain way, right? The Arohanam, Avrohanam for Begada. So it has to be taught that way, right? To learn that, to get the essence, the Raga Bhavam out of that Arohanam, Avrohanam itself. It says what the ragam is.
So I think maybe what you're getting at is singing the Arohanam, Avarohanam with Gamakam as opposed to without Gamakam?
No, with Gamakam, yes, but is the Raga Bhavam incorporated into the Arohanam, Avrohanam itself? So when you're singing the Kalpana Swaram that you're supposed to sing it a certain way.
To a certain extent.
I can give an example. So if I sing Sakati Mani Ta Mani Ni Sa, I mean maybe you know what that is, but it's not very clear. If you sing Sakati Mani Ta Mani Ni Sa, then it's like, okay, this is Riti Gabe.
Sa ni da ma ga ma pa ma ga ri sa versus
Sa ni da ma ga ma pa ma ga ri sa.
There.
So like when you sang Nayaki and Darbar, right? You said they're very close.
Yeah.
So do they have do they have the same combination of notes but sung slightly differently?
Yeah, so they don't exactly have the same combination of notes. For example, when you're singing Nayaki, when you're going to sa, you usually go from panchamam, which is a key difference. And there's a couple other note differences. But for ragams that are so close, like Nayaki and Darbar, it's more important to understand certain phrases that are sung certain ways. So the Gandharam and the Nishadam are very important for both of those ragams. But in Darbar, they're saying more like ga ga ri sa ri ni da ba da, whereas in Nayaki ni da ba ma ri ga ri sa.
So the Arohanam will have the slight.
Yeah, you would sing it with.
Can I add? So Arohanam is just for a person to start understanding the raga, but that doesn't itself tell you how to sing the raga. You have to listen more and understand and how. Just a scale won't do it. Scale is just to say, okay, this is the Gandharam, this is the Rishabham that you need to include in this ragam. But the ragam itself is much more than
Oh, got it.
So around only 95%.
Yeah.
I don't know if this question is even going to be, sensible. I'm not even sure I understand the question. But why did they write something like Arohanam, Avrohanam with all the correct gamakams for any given ragam?
So
Like notate it so that
it's not.
it's
No one really writes Arohanam, Avarohanam down with the correct grammar. Because also depending on what music school generally you're from, it differs how you sing the Arohanam, Avarohanam. And also in some ragams there's lots of debate and options. I like that. That's a good way to put it. Lots of options as to the way you sing the Arohana Avarohana, or the way you learn the Arohana Avarohana, the way you sing. Also, another cool thing is just forget the music schools and everything, but even the composers themselves, Dikshiter for certain ragams has a completely different conceptualization of the ragam than Tyagaraja does. So if you hear some Dikshiter songs, you'll hear a different shade of the ragam that you won't hear in Tyagaraja songs, and vice versa. And so this has been a thing that's been, Carnatic music has been a vocal tradition for a long time. So there's so much gray that there's lots of gray. It's pretty much just gray. But you know, when you're, that's why the key point is to learn the basics first, and then you can grow into the little nitty-gritty details.
Just to add, in fact, for the Sampurna Ragams, Dikshiter actually has his own names to them. They have separate names instead of the ones that are used in the common language.
Can you give an example of that, like especially with the around Riti Gole? Actually, Dikshita, I think sometimes incorporates Suddha Devatam. I read somewhere that, but that some people think that's a different ragam called Nadi Riti Gole, but other people think it's just Riti Gole that you can sometimes use Suddha Devatam, like that versus. But you can also use the Suddha Devatam there, but there's some, it's like somewhat, I don't know, up in the air.
So can I use this as an excuse for why half the times at least I don't get the ragam correct?
No, you can't. You don't need to know the nitty-gritty details to identify Riti Gaulai. Come on.
Not Riti Gaulai, generally.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to change the order of proceedings and speed things up a little bit so we can get to the Mickey Mouse, because I don't want to. Mickey Mouse will feel really bad if we don't get to him. So let's speed up. Neraval. What is it?
It's something that you repeat over and over again.
It is. So I think someone gave a definition of Manodharmam is not without Sahityam. Was that what you mentioned? Yeah. So Neraval has Sahityam. So that's the key point here. Basically, this is just a way of exploring ragams in the framework of a particular line and exploring the different ways you can sing a line. So key things to keep in mind: pick the line appropriately. It has to have a complete meaning. So there's lots of examples of Neraval lines that have been sung for a long time. One classic one that really breaks my heart is Samaguri's famous Jatarupa Nipachela, Janmarchita Mamakila, which is actually not a complete sentence. The words continue in the next Pataka Sanchaya Miha Varaya Karunaya. That's the line afterwards, and you have to sing that as well to make it a complete meaning. Now, obviously, follow the guidance of your guru, because lots of people still sing Jatarupa Nivajela, and that's, I think, in my opinion, also totally okay, because Samaguri Srinivasaya has sung Neraval to that like no one else has or will ever sing ever again, and to lose that part, that aesthetic value, is a shame and a crime. But at the same time, make sure that you don't just sing random lines. Follow the guidance of your guru, most important thing. Also, the important concept to know in Neraval is the concept of dirgham in the words itself. So it's important when you're saying words. So one example is the word, even in the same one, Jata Rupa Nivachela. So Jata, that was where the dirgham is. So that's where you should do your sangatis. So Jata Rupa Nivachela Janmarchita. That's where you should give your thing. Janmarchita Mama Kira Jata Rupa. In fact, instead if you do like Janmachi, know how the words are supposed to sound, and don't just, sing random things. It comes with practice. Another example, Veda Shastra Tattvartamuru Telisi. Veda Shastra So those are the longer words, syllables, and so the vowels, you should put your sangatis on those. Veda, Shastra, Shastra. It's better than Shastra. Or Veda is worse than Veda, Shastra. It's better. Because Veda, Shastra, you want to maintain that. You had a question?
Actually, I want to add to that. If you know the language or the meaning of the words, it's better that you put the sangatis there. What you said is perfectly right. That one you are, that is a Telugu song, right? Veda Shastra, like Sanskrit also. So you can, so because Veda Shastra is like Hindi, Tamil, everywhere. Because recently I started with Tamil also. That's why I'm more familiar. Before I'm core Andhra, so I didn't know any other language except Hindi.
Yeah.
But then once I started learning Tamil, I was like clueless what's going on. I didn't understand anything. I didn't know where to put bhavam, where to put this kamka. So why they are putting?
Right.
So where to break the song also? Like you said, don't break it there. So the better thing is when you are learning another language song, it's better to understand the meaning of each word. If not each word, at least the line or the basic bhavam.
Yeah.
That helps you where to put the gamkas, where to stop the song, and how to put it in a melodic way. Especially that's what I understood.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so knowledge of the language is important.
Even if Guru doesn't teach you, you can.
Yeah.
I think you should dare to ask Guru.
Yeah, I mean, I started.
As students, I don't endorse that, but Mama, I totally will take your advice.
No, I started with Usha Ravi and I was like bugging her a lot. Like I wouldn't let the song go further until I got the meaning of every song. So every line I had leave another line to understand each meaning of that word. Unless I was not able to sing at all. I was like, give up. I don't want to sing unless I know what it is. Because I learned only Telugu, because I know Telugu. That's why I was able to sing. But with Tamil, I was like, I don't want to sing if I don't know the song.
Yep.
Especially with Tamil is, I don't know, it seems like Tamil is a much harder one of the languages to especially do narrowing, because some of the syllables are really different to some of the other languages. And especially even for me as even like a Tamil speaker, it's still been difficult. So I've had to you can work through it if you try. There's definitely many online resources. Of course, anyone can go Karnataka.com or even just look up meanings. You can post on forums. It's always easy to get meanings, so it's always best to get the meanings.
For demos of Unraveled, we're gonna leave it to Mickey Mouse. He'll help us. So we're gonna save that for the end. I want to turn it over to the mridangas now to do their little demonstration. Let's go demo to demo. So we'll just do that. Yeah, do you guys want the wireless mic to talk? Yeah, I can mention. You can keep it, but I'll mention the point if you want. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is the key thing for mridangam is even when they're not accompanying Manodharmam itself, they usually don't know what the vocalist is going to sing. So the art of accompaniment itself is actually a form of Manodharmam for mridangam artists. So we're going to cover some basic tenets and so some basic principles. So you want me to do the first demo? Okay, so this is for a beginner mridangam player just starting to accompany Manodharmam. In this case, for the example we're going to give is Kalpana Swarams. Here's a way you can just use Sarva Lagu. So you guys can give us a perspective as to when you're a beginner, you learn lots of Sarva Lagu solos, right? So you can repurpose them for this.
Yeah, and also one big. Hello.
It's okay, just speak, we can hear you.
Yeah, well, one big thing is something that Sudarshan said in the beginning, build off the basics. So never forget your Sarvalagu, and for those of you who don't know, Sarvalagu is basically some swimmer that you can repeat and improvise, and you can do variations, but this is something that's the core of accompanying, and although you don't always want to rely on it, if you feel yourself
falling off one end or something, you can always rely on Sarvalagu to bring back the feeling of the song. So like always build from the basics. So never forget the Sarvalagu.
You want to do that thing? Okay. So we're gonna give a demonstration of how you can just use Sarvalagu to accompany swarams in a slower speed and a faster speed. Okay. After he tunes. Okay, we're going to take Vata Piganapatam again because it's easy. Vata Piganapatam Pagari Vata Pigana Nipani Sani Pagari Gapagari Sani Vani Ripava Nipani Kari Nipani Sani Pagari Bhava. Ni zani gani zani 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 mani zani zani pasa zani bagani ba ni bagabani zani gani zani ni zani pasa ni bagani ba bagani zani zani gabani bagabani zani pasa ni bagani ba. He's been playing the same like kind of Sarvalagu the entire time, but it still sounds, it's still a good accompaniment. Ni bani sani ban Sani 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 gani sani ni sani pa sa sani pa ga sani 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 gani sani sani ni sani pa sani pa ga ni pa. I apologize. It's hard to talk and sing at the same time. But yeah, so if you when you're a beginner, if you could just build off those Sarvalagu lessons and just play that way, that's a great way to accompany. Okay, so next we're going to talk about another form where Manodharmam manifest. Do you want to talk about the Unraveled thing? Oh, for what? Kirtan Swaram.
Yeah. So if you notice in the beginning, we had it Kirkalam and then Yakalam. So you can like immediately tell the difference between like the tat din and the nakat tadimi tadimi. So if you play like nakat tadimi tadimi or like that male column for Kirkalam.
Do you want to do it? Just show it. Ni pa ni sa ni ga ni sa ni sa ni sa ni pa ga ni va da.
It just doesn't fit like.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Ni pa ga ni ga pa ga ni sa ni pa ni ri pa va. It's much better. Ni pa ni sa ti ga ni sa ni sa ni ga ni sa ni sa ni sa ni pa ga ni va. Ni pa ga pa ni sa ni sa pa sa ni pa ga ni va. So once again.
It just doesn't fit. You have to play Kir column for Kir column and Male column for Male column. So that's a thing that beginners really have to pay attention to because if they're playing for the song and it goes into Male column, but then the Nenuval or Swarams they go into Kir column, you have to switch back into Kir column. You cannot keep playing in Male column or else it just doesn't sound right. So yeah, so that will go on.
Okay, so one of the things that you guys may notice is sometimes in songs, in the Anupallavi, we'll just hold a note, Sajjam or something. And then the Mridangas will fill that space. That's also another form of Mridangam Manodharmam with the Mridangas has to do. These are just examples that we're giving. And so we're going to do an example of what not to do and what you can do when kind of, filling that space as a Mridangas. So, you want to do it? Yeah, this is the Nyaya. Okay, this is the Anupallavi of the song in Ahiri. Bonus points if you can guess the composer afterwards. So it's important as a mridangist to understand the mood of the composition. That's not the mood. I just gave you the answer. Shyama Sastri is really begging for, Ambar to be service his mother. That's not, he's asking Nyayama, is this fair that you're not coming to save me? That's kind of the gist of them. So play. That's more appropriate. If you want to sing really high paced, a better place to do it is probably like okay. Ganudaina Shri and another one-directed, that's where you can actually, have fun, but not for, a lighter mood. Okay, we're gonna illustrate a similar concept now with Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam. It's important to play for the song and not for the talam. So Kapil's gonna kind of show how it sounds if a mridanga is just plays for the talam versus accompanying for the song.
It's a bit difficult, so I'll try my best to not play right.
Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam Prakasha Ballisha Guru Guhadeva Senesha Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam Prakasha Ballisha Guru Guhadeva Senesha Swami versus Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam Swaminatha Paripalaya Sumam Swaprakasha Ballisha Guru Guhadeva Senesha Swami. You hear the accent on Balli? Swaprakasha Ballisha Guru Guhadeva Senesha Swamina. So those are the kinds of things you have to look for when you're accompanying.
And that comes with listening a lot and like just playing for a lot of songs and listening to a bunch of concerts, so that you can tell for any song, and even if you haven't heard the song, you can just get the feeling, like you can just like feel that they're about to do something that you need to put stress on, and then you can do it. That sounds really good.
I can second to that, because I know when I first started playing for songs, like I would always like I would just try to go along to the dalam, usually be adi dalam. So I would just try to go like din, and so like that goes along with what we were saying before about how you have to stick with the mood, and because like no matter, even if it's a slow song, I would still play that and it wouldn't sound good. So it's like that's another thing that when it comes with listening, when you listen to more concerts, more songs, you can really understand that.
Yeah, so when you're a mridangist, a lot of times you don't know what song the vocalist is going to sing next if you're getting to that level of playing for lots of concerts, accompanying lots of concerts. So all of this comes into the frameworks of Manodharmam as a mridangist, I strongly feel, because you have a lot less time to react, and so you really have to build up that base, follow your guru's advice. Sai is going to talk about, and then we'll demonstrate an advanced concept of how you can really improvise as a mridangist.
Yeah, okay, so when